Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Holiday Zay with Let's Talk Ship, and today's topic is going to be along the lines of doing your research prior to booking your cruise. When you do so, you have a clear understanding of what you're getting yourself into. You know what's there, you have an idea of what's not there, and post-cruise, you can have a better tone in your voice when giving a review based off of your opinion from your experience. So to go with that, let's talk ship. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, do your boy a favor, smash that like button and subscribe to your boy's channel. Here you can get different types of information when it comes to the cruise world, things happening, things going on, and things that may have already happened. Today's topic is research before your cruise. I want to share a clip with you guys, a clip that someone had actually shared with me. They sent this to me and they wanted my opinion on it. And I want to say, going into this video, I am in no way, shape, form, or fashion disrespecting anyone, bashing anyone, the person that's in the video, none of that. This is simply what I think as a cruise content creator and travel agent, going off of what this particular cruiser had to say about their experience on board a Royal Caribbean ship.
This comment. Ooh, my hair looks crazy. Sorry, y'all. It's the claw clip. But why did I rate Coco Cay a 2 out of 5? First and foremost, it was just entirely too crowded for my liking. We were on the Wonder of the Seas, which is a pretty large ship, and we were the only ship docked that day. So I cannot imagine if it had have been Wonder of the Seas and Star of the Seas or Utopia, like if there had been more than one ship docked on that day, having, everybody get off to go to the island, that would have been a 0 out of 5 stars for me, and I probably would have gotten back on the ship.
So that was that. However,
but wait, there's more.
Shoulder to shoulder at the swim up bar. It was shoulder to shoulder at every bar on the island. We could not get a seat. We could barely get a drink. The pools were jam-packed. Like, when I say jam-packed, I mean so packed that the water was warm from body heat. I can't deal with that. The way my brain works just cannot handle that many people.
okay, so y'all got that. I want to do my best to dissect that video. First and foremost, for all of my new people, fairly new people who are now involved in the cruise community, if you are not clear on what Wonder of the Seas is, the ship is massive. It is what you would call not what you would call it, it is an Oasis class ship with Royal Caribbean. And Oasis class, they are nice and hefty in size. Not like the Icon class ships, but they are still a nice size ship. And that lady, like she mentioned, was on Wonder of the Seas, and she spoke how she felt about it. I have to say this for my people who don't know of Wonder of the Seas. Wonder of the Seas can hold at double capacity over 5,700 people. And at maximum capacity, nearly 7,000 people. Okay, that is a very, very important factor. Now we're going to go into this next thing of what she mentioned. You'll notice that she mentioned, had there been other ships at that port, that she would have gave it a 0 out of 5. Wonder of the Seas was the only ship docked at that time at the Perfect Day Coco Cay destination, which is Royal Caribbean's private island. And she felt as if it was overcrowded. And you also heard her say that her mind can't either process or deal with that many people. She said that there were so many people in the water that the water was warm. I'll let that one go. If that was the case, that is a lot of people. She also mentioned that there were lines at the bars. Okay, you're on vacation. A lot of people are going to want to drink. A lot of people may have gotten the drink package, which carries over from the ship. Of course, people are going to want to have their alcohol. They're on vacation. And from my understanding, the last time I checked, Wonder of the Seas was doing short-term cruises, I believe 3 to 4 day cruises, which is classified in the cruise community as booze cruises. For those of you who don't know what booze cruises are, they are notorious for being 3 to 4 night sailings. So with her mentioning the lines with the bars and things like that and the lack of seating, Perfect Day at Coco Cay is not a small destination. However, at any event or any space with a significant amount of people, yes, it can feel like it's being overran or overcrowded. Very easy, very simply said. However, going into the next thing, I personally feel with hearing all of that, there had to be a lack of research done on her part when it came to seeing how many people actually were on Wonder of the Seas. Like I said, 5,500 plus, 5,700 plus at double capacity and nearly 7,000 at maximum. And this is just something that you want to look into, and not just the capacity, multiple things like what does this ship have to offer? Are they going to have activities on there that I'm interested in before I book this? I can't tell you how many times I've been on stream over on TikTok, and I've had people come in and express to me that they had such a bad time on one of their cruises in the past or their latest cruise. And I always ask them, well, did you do your research before you booked that cruise? And many of them say, no, I just booked it because it was a good deal. I have to tell you guys that booking a cruise based off of a good deal is not always the best move to make, because in some way you may be setting yourself up for a bad experience. A lot of the out of date, older cruise ships, they're going to offer some great rates. I cannot deny that. If you're just looking to get away to a certain destination such as Cozumel, Honduras, Belize, Grand Cayman, so on and so forth, then yes, book a cheap cruise just to go to those destinations because you have excursions booked for those particular port destinations. But if you're going specifically for the ship, you might want to take the time, invest the time into doing your research about that particular ship. That way, when you get on there, your jaw is not on the floor from disappointment, not from excitement, but from disappointment because it's out of date. It looks like it hasn't been refurbished in 20 years. And now you are beginning to feel as if you did not get your money's worth, and you're questioning like, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? Like, this is not what I thought it was. And like, you did no type of research. And I don't like to know and hear about people having those experiences, especially if you're a first-time cruiser. Research is critical. I'm going to give you guys an example of how you would present it, or how I would present it in a review of the ship compared to how the lady presented it. And how I personally feel she presented it, it was in such a tone to where it was an unattractive experience. But why was it unattractive? Was it unattractive because it was the ship? Was it unattractive because it was the destination? In my opinion, I would have to say no. It was unattractive because of her lack of research. That's just what I would say. That's my opinion. And how she presented it, oh, I would only give it a 2 out of 5. And if other ships would have been there, I would have gave it a 0 out of 5. Now, I'm going to give you how I would present it post-cruise in a review video for you guys. How I would have started before booking, I would have done my research of the ship. I would have known how many people were going on that ship, the capacity, I should say, my destinations, so on and so forth. And if I didn't care about the ship, or if I did, what I would still do is look and see what all that ship had to offer me prior to booking. So if they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 or even 7 different activities that I was excited about, I would book it. However, upon further researching that ship, if you follow me over on TikTok, then you would know that I love Carnival Cruise Line. Also, I love Guy's Burger. So with that being said, with knowing that they had 5 to 7 activities that I wanted to participate in, and then upon further reading that, hey, just so you know, this particular Carnival ship does not, hypothetically, this particular Carnival ship does not have a Guy's Burger. Ooh, okay, it doesn't have a Guy's Burger. But man, these 5 to 6 to 7 activities, this kind of outweighs that. I can do without Guy's Burger for 3, 4, 5 days. I'm fine. And I booked the cruise. I experienced all of those activities that I was interested in without Guy's Burger. And then I go out and I do whatever I do at the ports and whatever else on the ship that I might have come across. And I come back home, I set up my camera, I press record, I sit here, and I give the review of my experience on the ship. And I say that every single activity that I researched and got to participate in was immaculate. I had a great time. However, just so you guys know, on this particular ship, there is no Guy's Burger. It was somewhat of a downer not having a Guy's Burger after a long day of port, but I knew that prior to, and it didn't pose as a problem. You see how that's different? I can present it in such a way to where it's not negative. It comes from a more understanding and soft space, presenting something like that prior to knowing versus you just spending your money based off of a good deal and then coming back home, setting up your camera, and then going on a highly negative rant about it, which could deter people away from that particular ship. And everyone has their own preference when it comes to cruise ships. Believe it or not, there are some people who prefer smaller and older ships. Some of us who, I wouldn't say some of us, but there are some people out there who they wouldn't be able to process or understand why a person would, prefer a smaller ship, a older ship. And again, it's personal preference. I'm pretty sure that if you're one of those people, I'm pretty sure that you have some things going on in your life and made some choices in your life that people wouldn't understand. But guess what? That's your preference. Just like your preference when it comes to relationships. That's your preference. So again, the lady, this is not to bash her in any way. This video is simply to inform all of the new cruisers within the cruise community of how important researching the ship before you purchase or before you book it really is. Knowing the size, knowing the decks, where things are located. All these things are important to know, especially if you do not invest in hiring a travel agent. You doing everything on your own, there's going to be a lot of things that you probably miss on your first booking. A lot of people, when they have booked their very first cruise on their own, they'll tell you they missed a lot of things. They did a lot of things wrong. Now, it may vary in comparison to had a good time and a bad time as first-time cruisers. It just really all depends. But I can tell you from personal experience, I have heard many stories of people booking their own cruise as a first-time cruiser and having a terrible time because they didn't know any better. They didn't know this. They didn't know that. I've heard of some people even almost missing their cruise because they chose to fly in the morning of their cruise. And people will tell you that's not what you want to do unless you are experienced and you know how to book your flight accordingly. But it's not one of those things that's recommended within the cruise community. Many people will tell you to book the flight the day before. So with her giving her opinion on it and me giving you clarity and understanding on the difference and the importance of researching your ship before booking, I hope this gives you guys a better understanding and just clarity of research. And there are a lot of people, well, I don't have time to research and I don't have that type of time and I can't just sit for hours and you know what? It's understandable. However, when something comes up and you choose to rebuttal it towards a worker, it's within the policy. You should have known, you should have knew that, you should have read this, you should have read that. Well, I don't have time. Well, we don't know what to tell you, buddy. When you come to rant to us about certain things like that, you are gonna have people who side with you, and then you're gonna have people like me who are like, well, did you do your research? I ain't got time for that. Well, tough ship, all right? So again, I hope this video was very helpful. If you did find it helpful, do your boy a favor, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more cruise content and information in the future. Share this video with someone who you believe may need to hear this. So until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.